Hi everyone, this is Joe. Today on this episode I am going to show you how to utilize the URL path and setting the route on the controller level so that you can now start passing information through the URL path or have customized URL path that actually is a little bit more readable or maybe a little bit more organized. So let's get started. Okay, so now let's utilize the URL path and the route. So let's go back to the home controller, and right now there is no route set. A default route is actually set at startup.cs. Going down here, and you can see that on the configure, you say app.use endpoints, and endpoints map control routes, and default its controller is home and actions index and URL path ID. So basically, if you just give the domain localhost or whatever the domain you set, the first action, first controller is going to be called as home, and action is going to be index, which is right here, home controller and index. So let's just run it and see if that is how it goes. So right now it says localhost with my port 44378. So what it's going to be load, it's going to be home controller index, because when you go down here, you can see that by default it's control home and index and ID. So if I click on, let's say, privacy, which is another view that is already pre-populated. So privacy, and privacy is now /home/privacy, and you see the privacy contents. So what I wanted to do is I want to not have this home, just directly type in privacy and be able to see the privacy policy. So what I'm going to do is go back to the controller, and I'm just going to use the route like this. So route. This is the home directory here, and then go into privacy and route and privacy. Okay, so that's it. So let's go back here and then launch the project again. Okay. All right, so there's this does take a little bit of time. So right now, home is same. If you go to privacy, you can see that its privacy is /privacy, and you can see the view. So this method actually works in all controllers here. So let's say that we're going to take the parameter, for example, ID. Okay, and then let's get string ID. This is probably not the best because oops, actually I want to stop it. Let's say home ID. This is probably not the best. Let's just say well, I guess this should be all right. Instead of greeting, I can just pass in string, so it's ID, right? So what I'm going to do, okay, go back to the project. Now I'm going to just stop it right here. Okay. And what I'm going to do is hello. So I think there's hello's passed. So if I just click on say, it's going to be hello. That's how. Okay, so now this is working, but I actually would like to make sure that when somebody passed nothing to the root, like the root folder, root directory, root path actually, be able to work. So it doesn't work now because what I have done here is I've set this action to be called with IDs with no option, like you must have it. So what I'm gonna do is this is two-way. One action can have multiple routes, so I just say route, okay, and then run it. And this should also work with nothing in it. So let's check it out. Localhost 44378. This should load the page. Yep. So run it. So there's nothing passed, so it's going to be blank. Then I can say again, hello, and that works, right? The other way is you can just say ID and questions. And I'm just going to take, if you look at the startup.cs, it also has this question mark. It means it's optional. So I think it's going to work same right here too. So let's go. It's building. Thinking. Yeah, so how it works. So go there and hello. And that should work.